In this module, we're going to begin exploring high availability for Exchange Server 2013. So what exactly do we mean by high availability? Well, high availability, or HA, means a system or service that has been designed and implemented to meet a desired level of performance and availability. And generally, when we say a system is available, we mean it is accessible by the end users and it's successfully performing the tasks for which it was designed. We could also refer to that as uptime. And if a system is unavailable, that means of course that it is not accessible by end users, and that's often what we refer to as downtime. Now within Exchange Server 2013 there are different layers at which we can consider high availability. There's a client access layer, so that is the stateless proxy for the protocols that allow mailbox access via clients such as Outlook, OWA, ActiveSync. There's also the transport layer, which is responsible for SMTP communications and mail flow. There is the mailbox layer, which hosts client protocols and the databases that are hosting our mailboxes and public folders. And there's the unified messaging layer, which is responsible for the telephony integration. But aside from the functionality built into Exchange Server 2013, there are other elements of your environment that are involved in high availability because, of course, Exchange depends on a lot of other systems such as Active Directory, DNS, perhaps you've deployed load balancers. Naturally, you'll also be dependent on your network connectivity between your servers as well as between your servers, clients, and also the internet. The underlying Windows Server operating system, the server hardware or virtualization platform that you're running on, the storage where your databases are, your power in the data center, and likely a whole lot of other things as well. So what are we going to do here with the Exchange Bootcamp to explore high availability? Well, if you've been following along in your own test lab, so far you've deployed one domain controller and one Exchange server. So effectively what we're going to do is deploy a second Exchange server within that test lab environment. I'm not going to deploy another domain controller to ensure high availability of AD services or anything like that. We'll just focus purely on the Exchange components, but just be aware that all those other dependencies do exist. And if you have the resources, you can of course explore deploying more of those services within your test lab environment and making all those highly available as well. As we look at HA for the client access layer, what we're going to do is configure the CAS role on the second server, and we're going to use DNS round robin for the load balancing, which is the simplest and cheapest way to achieve load balancing in Exchange Server 2013. And then with all of that in place, we'll do some simple tests to demonstrate that CAS HA has been established. For Mailbox HA, we're going to deploy a database availability group, or DAG. We'll look at how to manage the database copies within that DAG, and we'll also demonstrate Mailbox HA during some planned failover and unplanned failover scenarios, and look at how the clients respond to that